Welcome back. As we said, we're going to have a quick turnaround, so let's get ready for Game 2 of Towers of Doom. You'll be seeing on stream Scrips and Scrubs versus NMD. NMD being a new team, so hopefully we're going to see some interesting plays. And I'll throw it over to your analyst, Kitfox and Disconcur.
Thank you very much, Vexium, for that killer intro. But yes, we are going to get the quick turnarounds going on tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, up on stream next, we are bringing you Scrips and Scrubs versus NMD. We are giving away those Diva bundles, so exclamation mark GS HotS into the chat if you haven't done so already. But joining me this time in the analyst position, it is a very, very good evening to the man you know as Dad, Disconcur.
Hey, Kitfox, what's going on? We're here, week 3,
Oh, yeah.
Game 2. I am pumped. This is Towers of Doom. I have a secret love for Towers of Doom. We've seen so many good games in the ANZ region that I'm just excited to see what these two teams are going to come up with. And NMD, new team this week, but not new players. This is we know him, their favorite 2015 player, Hiccup, is back captaining another team.
Physics is around as well, another big name going around through ANZ a little bit recently. But yes, we are on to Towers of Doom, a map known very well for its choke points and fighting over around little itty-bitty nodes that we call, those bell towers, because it's the only way you're able to dish out damage to your opponent. But we are into the banning phase. Red team have the ban first. They did win the coin flip. That is NMD on the right-hand side of the screen there, ladies and gentlemen. Scrips and Scrubs will be on blue, but they're going all the way down here, taking away the global pressure nice and early. Dahaka gets benched.
Yeah, it's pretty standard first ban there, the Dahaka. The global presence on this map, able to soak in an alternative lane, get the experience, rotate, not just rotate, global rotate down to the fight where you need them. And this is a team fight orientated map. And then the Genji ban second up. So, not to say that that's traditional, but Genji is a pretty powerful character at the moment. Still fairly new to the roster, but very devastating.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that we see a ban coming out from Scrips and Scrubs against that one.
Genji wreaked havoc last time he was played here on Towers of Doom. He got all the way into the backline. I think it was week 1, you and I, Disco. We saw an amazing Tyrael play, a superb dive comp. The team would lose me right now, but I remember the composition. It was deadly. And Genji was a massive part of that. Anubarak being picked up now by Team NMD. Now, Falstad, the first global champion being picked up here for Scrips and Scrubs. They leave a lot open for NMD, but Scrips still have one more to get onto the board. With Genji off the board, who do you think they'll go with to complement Falstad? I mean, Malf is an obvious one.
Well, yeah, they could pick up their support now and have him locked in.
Yeah.
And look, we didn't even have to continue the conversation much there. It does lock him in. They've got their support, so they don't have to worry that. And they can kind of start to target ban now whatever NMD don't pick up in these next 2 selections. They do have a new rec, which means that they're actually quite open to take a Li Ming, to take a Gul'dan or a KT. We see a lot of KT recently being played on a variety of maps, and considering that the opposition only has Falstad and Malfurion, and Genji has been banned out, they only sort of have to concern themselves with the Grey Main. They've just locked in the Grey Main with the burst healer Uther, so that's a really nice combination they've already gotten themselves into, where Scrips and Scrubs, it's pretty generic. It's pretty standard Falstad Malfurion.
I mean, so's Greymane Uther. You could argue that, but I mean, Greymane just finds so much value since his rework a couple patches ago. He sort of fell off in the meta. People thought he wasn't probably dishing out enough damage, but then he got that rework, and everything just became, so much stronger, and it was almost second nature just to pick him into your team. And he's probably had one of the highest pick rates of this HGC qualifier here at the GameStar ANZ Qs. Diablo now.
Even stronger now that you've got characters like Uther that can throw the heal and give him an armor, give him a boost to his already armor in Greymane in wolf form. So that's a really nice buffed addition. When a character gets nerfed, all the characters he synergizes well with also get mini power boosts in that sense.
So it'll be interesting to see who they pick. Now, Chromie being locked in here for the Scrips and Scrubs, lads, they'll be putting a lot of eggs into that basket, trying to get some long-range, cheeky, off-the-screen snipes, Disco, but with 30 seconds ticking down. Who would you pick to complement Chromie?
Oh, see, I think they've got to look at something like the Tyrael here, because it's a combination that we could see go on to the other side for us, for NMD here. Take the Tyrael to combo with the Greymane so they can both dive in with their Sanctification and then Greymane follow-up damage. I think they need to think about denying that. And it's also going to be a counterplay when you have Greymane jump in onto your side. The Zarya, it will help with Chromie because of the shields, but they really haven't secured their other tank yet. And, it's Tyrael's coming out. Like, I really feel that NMD here should be picking up Tyrael.
3 tanks have been banned, Disco. Just let that sink in for a bit. Dibbles, Varian, as well as Dahak are now being taken off the board. Arthur still is available here. But do you think that NMD might complement themselves with another tank to go with a Nubarak? Because a Nubarak is very anti-mage heavy, doesn't really have the best physical armor. Do you think they might take the Arthas away from Scrips and Scrubs here?
I mean, it is a possibility, and on the table for Scripts and Scrubs, their last pick will probably be Arthas in that sense. It is going to, again, help with the Greymane and the Nubarak dive. I don't really think it really adds to NMD's composition here, picking up the Arthas. I mean, like, they've got the Nubarak, they've got the Greymane. I feel they need Tyrael. They haven't gone with it on any front. Zagara and Zeratul.
I like it.
The only issue I have with the Zeratul is that there's no big combo potential with its Void Prison, except a lot of dudes just being in the area when it goes off. So this is actually a chance for Scripts and Scrubs. They can pick Arthas or Tyrael here. I think both will actually work pretty well in their lineup.
So they'll be going for a split push build and some cheeky assassinations as well. That Zeratul pick is to counter Chromie. They want to keep pouring pressure onto Chromie. Zeratul is going to be blinking in, blinking out, and just being an absolute nuisance. Now, that almost forces Malfurion to take Scouting Drone here, but who wouldn't on Towers of Doom anyway?
Well, I mean, you haven't really got... Like, you can almost take anything at level 1 on Malfurion. The only tempting thing might be to take the Shen... I can never remember the name of it. So we have the Shendo Innovate, or the Shendo Clarity.
Shendo's Clarity, yeah.
Yeah, to give her the extra mana. But, I don't know, going for a more secure frontline, solid frontline bruiser. With the Muradin. I mean, Muradin's always good. Like, he's average, I should say. He's an average character, but he's never been overly bad. There's always been a place for him in the front line. Well, you got that stun, right? You can't go past the stun, but I don't know. Both drafts I feel are a little weird. The Zeratul, 100% right. The Zeratul is going up against the Chromie, but the Chromie has a Zarya to throw the shields on, so it's sort of. I mean, I guess it's 2 heroes to beat the Zeratul, right? But it does really beat it out. But the split push, there's no global for the Zagara split push to really get off to level 10. But then you lose you're losing the Maul during the team fights. So no, it's a bit of an interesting one here from NMD. The Falstad really counters all of that really nicely. I don't know. We'll see who can come out on top, because you know what, both drafts are a little bit different. But like the key here is Chromie. It's what happens with Chromie.
I reckon it's going to be Ninja, actually, Disco, because Zagara, on this map, once you take your first bell tower, your first opponent's bell tower, you can snowball into the other ones, and then once you've taken that first one, you basically turn the game into catch-up for your opponent. They are going to be needing to take back the towers that Zagara is going to be able to push down. So that's what I'm going to put my money on, is a big game from Ninja and his split map presence.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, we'll definitely put pressure. We'll put pressure on Scripts and Scrubs, but you can capture as many structures as you want all day. If you're not getting those towers, if you're not getting those altars, they are not going to do much value for you. So an early game pause, Kitfox. The pressure on the Australian internet is too much to bear.
It's good to see a couple of teams know how to implement the pause function. So well done to Hiccup for finding that. The snipe at the Aussie internet. You know, normally I'd take it to heart, but it's warranted, man. It sucks. It sucks so bad.
Well, we're a region. We say we're the ANZ region, but we're actually playing across 2 countries. We've got Australia all the way through to New Zealand. We're almost at like a 6-hour time difference between peak points, so it's a lot of country to with a lot of double country to cover.
Especially if you're in Western Australia when you're 3 hours behind the rest of us. Isn't that right, Disco?
Oh.
We can see now Ninja not even bothering with this mid lane. He's just going straight up the top, dropping down those creep tumors. Physics blinks into that through the Bob Cow, just making his presence known. He'll want Chromie, so expect a lot of Zeratul on Chromie action. I'd ship it.
The opportunity arises. Alright, so neither team is really gain too much advantage here. Ninja's got a little bit of a push already happening in the top lane against the towers, but Bob Cow is up there. He's going to be soaking the experience, and that is what Towers Doom really boils down to, is just back and forth minion experience trading for a while until you can either get like a really solid rotation in, or something that might be about happening in the mid lane.
Yeah, fantastic rotation coming up from the bottom lane here from NMD. The Burrow did come in from Hiccup into the Impale, but Superstition was just too strong. Chromie still throwing out those Dragon Breath and Sandblast, just trying to get some sort of damage out here onto Team NMD, but they're just able to regen it so well.
You see a really interesting thing there in the lane, in the mid lane. Scrips and Scrubs had played favoritism towards the top of their lane, knowing that the enemy team was actually bottom rotating to mid or rotating up. That is actually really good map awareness and understanding of their enemy's composition. So Scrips and Scrubs were onto it before they get caught out.
Ninja now forced to go back to base because Zagara, if there's one negative about Zagara, is that she chews through a lot of mana, especially when you're pumping out those banelings onto the wall, which she's done already. Creep Tumor covering a fair chunk of that upper half of the map, but as we get back into the game, the first phase has been spawned. These bell towers are going up, 2 up top, 1 down the bottom. Now the Roots have actually caught out Hiccup here, forced to burrow away. There's 3 of Scrips and Scrubs going down into the bottom lane, trying to take this bottom tower early. Disco.
Oh, that was... I feel so bad for him. So it was a great play going down the bottom. If it was anyone but a Nubarak, they would have caught him, but they didn't. Whoa, Greymane actually nearly took out Folstad just behind that conversation here.
But Superstition taking a lot of damage again in the mid lane. The port comes in from Physics, but the Gilnean Cocktail lands on top of the tower and goes through. Well done there from Greymane on the side of NMD. Who was it? Let me just pull that up and get his name on the board. It was Mudvayne, so well done to that man, getting himself first blood. Hiccup doing a great job baiting it out there on the Nubarak as well.
Like I said before, that they had to rotate down to the bottom lane to get that Merc Camp that was just picked up by NMD, Scrips and Scrubs. And if it was anyone else but a Nubarak, they would have got the kill, but it hurt them because they lost 2 towers.
Hiccup with a 4-man gank, landed the Impale, but just overshot the Burrow a little bit and missed that second knock-up. Chase was able to get away, actually did, forced out the second win. Stormbolt did find the mark, but here come the Scrips and Scrubs lads. Chase put out the call and said, hey, I need my boys, and one phone call later they all rocked up and souped up combos, and that was it.
Oh, good. Again, good response. But I think what we're starting to see here is that Scrips and Scrubs are actually doing a big respawn game. They're responding to the actions of an NMD. They keep doing that. They're already losing now. They're already behind in the tower damage game. Structures in the top lane are being pushed heavy by Zagara. So 100% these guys have to start taking the initiative. And they should be thinking to themselves, can we do something to trap these guys? They know they're trying to invade camps. Maybe try and get them on the camp.
They're trying to take the sappers away from Scrips and Scrubs here, but there's a lot of action going down. The Roots did land, but Malfurion bites the dust. Well played there. That wasn't there. So well played, but Zaya now falls down, unable to get those so required stacks on Demolition's Expert. Only about halfway done there. Chromie dishing out a lot of damage off screen, but that was well played from NMD. They get 2 cheeky frags. They've turned the tides. They're going down for Chase. Does have Gore Toss available. Does he needs to get it up? The Singularity Spike landed. But Malfurion, Muradin is just so strong, and now NMD are going to try and take away the sappers from Scrips and Scrubs.
Yeah, and they've got enough time to do this as well. They can grab this Merc Camp, rotate up to the top. They can probably get both those towers. NMD, they are... I don't even know what to say. Are they having this a training exercise? Have they paid off the other team? They are just playing this so well. And there's almost nothing Scrips and Scrubs can do right in this regard.
So the towers have gone up now. Let's see if if the NMD lads can extend their lead here. And, well, Hiccup just walked on top of a time trap there. And as such, the Sandblast Dragon Breath combo was nullified. But the lead's still in favor of NMD here. They've got a one-tower advantage in terms of shooting. But there's been no fortifications fallen as yet, Disco. So the tide could still turn very, very quickly should Scrips and Scrubs turn this level advantage back in their favor. Bobcat now taking a lot of damage. Fantastic stun comes out. Great play from NMD. They rotate effectively. Physics with that singularity spike. He just landed it, and that was all she wrote from there.
Ow, you've seen the boys right do that 3 or 4 times now. It's always been Muradin, and they never caught. They've never been able to kill him. You remove Muradin and you replace him with anyone else on Scrips and Scrubs team, and they literally turn them into Scrips and Scrubs when they go in.
Sappers now being taken for NMD, their own Sappers this time, even though they did actually steal the ones from Scrips and Scrubs. Now they do actually have the advantage here. In terms of the towers, Scrips can't even attack that bottom one yet, and now they can, and this is that snowball we were talking about, Disco. Zagara doing work in that top lane, did hit level 10, so Nidus Network is up now. This is where the split push is just going to deal out so much damage. Oh, Physics 8! The slowing Sands in the mid lane and was forced to pop VP because Papa was about to drop a boulder on his head.
Papa was about to drop some bombs, but he goes, whoa, hang on, timeout, mate. Stop for a second. Reset.
Scrips taking a lot of damage in the top lane from Ninja and Physics, combining Zagara with that Envenom Spines, just doing so much damage. Did take Medusa Blade, so it's going to have that splitting auto attack as well. Expect to see their siege damage through the roof. The altars are up again in a matter of seconds, Disco, and the towers are in favour of NMD.
Yeah, and Scrips and Scrubs, they can't, even though they've just picked up level 10, they don't really have the time to fight against this. They can't go for this tower. They've got to use it as
Superstition, sorry to cut you off there. Superstition escaped that by the skin of his teeth. Chase now copying a lot of damage. He eats a stun coming out from Uther. Hammer of Justice getting it done, but this map pressure is just so strong here from NMD.
So what I like about what NMD is really doing here is, we talked about at the start, we talked about the split pressure coming out from Zagara, we talked about the potential of Chromie in these team fights, but NMD, they're like, well, we're just going to play around with Chromie by doing stuff when she's not there. Like, look at this fight, Chromie's here, the team's here, all the boys are here for Scrips and Scrubs. So NMD, what's their response? Oh, we won't fight. We'll just hold you back and do something else. They don't want to try and take team fights, and it's working out really well for them.
This is what they need to be careful of, Scrips and Scrubs. They've lost that bottom tower. That allowed the top tower to be taken while they reclaimed that bottom one. So NMD, and that was all thanks to Ninja on the Zagara, does have the Nidus Network out, now gets to work setting down creep all over the map, getting down those worms so she can go, hey, you know what, I'm just going to pretty much be a Dahaka. You took him off the board, but hey, I'm just as good.
Yeah, they took an alternative way to do it.
Oh, we can see the expulsion zone being thrown out in the mid lane, in the low lane, but Zeratil's gone out. A fantastic Divine Shield coming out there from Uther onto Hiccup, but it's not going to be enough, or is it? Does eat a time trap now, does actually get the burrow away, so HotS now forced to throw out those Hammer of Justices in just to get away. Hiccup narrowly escaping that fight.
So this, right now, there is an opportunity here for Scrips and Scrubs to get that tower, get a little bit of an experience advantage, and they didn't take it. I think there was a little bit of a misplay there. They know that they've removed someone from the board. A new rack had to go back to base to heal up. They could have got that tower and then retreated back to do their Merc camp. So I think that's a little bit of a misplay, or let's call it a failure to optimize the experience right now. And it's not going to cost them. It was a kill, but you saw there, when a team fight, a legitimate team fight broke out, it was Scrips and Scrubs that came out on top. They just got that bigger burst damage when they can get that condition.
Because NMD are running the Zagara, the Scrips and Scrubs are always going to have the team fight advantage.
Yeah.
NMD are going to win this with their split map pressure, with their split push pressure, across this map. And it's all coming down to this man, Ninja. Now he gets to work on the mid lane while the rest of his team are in the bot lane. Roots go out. Physics does actually get the blink back in. Chromie throwing out those Dragon Breaths. Bobcow now forced to gust down from the top lane. And that is the cue for NMD to put the Nikes on, and they are hightailing out of there. Fantastic VP comes out from Physics, and they've got, what's that? 4, 5, all 5 players caught in a VP here. Scrips and Scrubs are in trouble. NMD had all the time in the world to set up, but the stuns are too strong, and the Storm Bolt combining with the roots for Scrips and Scrubs managed to take down a Nubarak. This is a big turning point here for Scrips. They're going to get the push on. They did actually pinch that bottom tower, because remember, NMD are going into these fights 4v5. Ninja is not having a bar of it.
And I think this is where it's going to come. It's hard to say it's going to come undone, but Zagara is losing a little bit of value here, because once she does control, like she controls the lane, there's no core pressure from the lane unless she picks up the mercenaries. So that's where I don't think like Zagara's 100% value. Having said that, the level lead is super nice, but nobody in the fight. It's still a 5v4. It's still a tough situation for NMD to come out on top. And now we're starting to see the turn there.
All of NMD's experience this year has come from the Zagara. Just cast your eyes at the scoreboard for a brief second. And look how high Zagara is climbing here, but fantastic route again coming out on the side here from Scrips and Scrubs. I'll tell you what, I've really liked the way that Scrips himself has been able to disengage so efficiently for himself and his team.
Oh yeah, it's how they can't take those weird fights, so they can't be caught out like that, and they have to back out. So they're playing extremely well, keeping their team in this.
Again, we can see the sappers being picked up from the NMD lads. They're going to go for their own, and just like that, they realise that they've got Scrips and Scrubs have got 4 players up in the top lane, and they've left their sappers wide open. NMD are going to lap this one up, and when you take the opposing sappers, Disco, sometimes they can go around the back and get a cheeky shot off.
Oh, if Harding goes wrong,
yeah,
they bug out.
I've seen it. I have seen it, and it's 3 cheeky shots, and I thought, hang on a minute, how did I lose the game?
It's definitely a bug when that happens. But look at this. This is a nice pick up there. So again, this is NMD forcing Scrips and Scrubs to respond. So Zagara got the mercs in the top lane. They went to the bottom, got the mercs in the bottom lane. Rotated to the boss. So yeah, the mercs, the sappers didn't get any shots for him, but NMD had a long time plan.
Another expulsion zone coming out from Superstition into the slowing sands from Papa. Oh, the gust actually blew back into the Mudbang, who back into the Dragon's Breath Sandblast combo. The Divine Shield was not required in the end. There was no damage coming out, but this is what Scrips and Scrubs need. When it comes down to team fights, Disco, they've got the advantage. Local Storm has been popped by Hiccup. Just needs to be careful not to stay too long. Storm Bolt finds Papa just misjudging the Dragon's Breath. Their chase again. Close the Dwarven toss. Hiccup, they want him for breakfast. Finally, they get him. Scrips and Scrubs get the kill. They've leveled it up now, 17 apiece, Disco, but they've got 1 hit left on their tower. 1 sapper, that's it, and finally Physics does what he's been trying to do all game, get the cheeky kill onto Chrome.
One sapper, 1 tower, 1 boss in the 3 minutes and 50 seconds, or 50 seconds now. They are in a pressure point now. They are in a boiler. They are in a pot boiling on the stove that's been moved from a small stove to a giant stove.
Fantastic VP has just come out from Physics there. The Moonfire was getting it done on Malfurion. Is he going to get it away? No! He thought he was going to pinch it away with the cheeky VP. But it just wasn't enough. He did catch 2 Scrips himself, was doing a fantastic job throwing out Moonfires because they're not out of this yet, Disco. We know it's a 1 versus 29 on the scoreboard, but stranger things have happened. Now we can see the expulsions that have been thrown out. Mudvayne and co, they decide to disengage. They realise they can control the Scrips. No, they want to go back in. Hiccup says, nah, boys, we want to win this one now. Superstition eats a lot of damage. There's no Divine Shield to save him, and that is going to be GG because Sappers have pinched it away. Well done.
And I think you were there. That was a game-ending moment by Ninja on the Zagara. He picked up the mercs in the top lane, and while they were all messing around on that tower, on that bell tower, the Sappers went, "Yo, I'm still alive. I guess I'll just continue on to your core now."
I mean, MVPs, Disco, we've got to put a finger on somebody here, and my money is on Ninja. I mean, cast your eyes at these numbers. 180,000 siege damage, 23,700 experience. It was all, if you look at it, the sheer numbers, it was almost a solid carry by Ninja in terms of just making sure his team had the experience to fight every single time. Didn't engage directly, but was still able to do his bit.
It's a tough one, definitely numbers-wise, and that would not have worked without Zagara, without the Zagara pushing the way it did. I wish we could give it to the entire team. Yeah. I'm going to say Ninja on Zagara, but that was truly a team effort. It was the entire enemy team confusing, with NMD confusing Scrips and Scrubs. They knew that team fight was a thing, but they went, if we can play around this, which they did perfectly, it opened up the opportunity for Zagara to play that. So we'll have to say Ninja, because we've got to pick someone. We'll go Ninja, but really, MVP, NMD.
Yeah, it was a team effort, but we do have to pick one. So congratulations to Ninja for a fantastic Zagara play, realizing that his team wouldn't win the fights and they just wanted on map pressure. So congratulations to NMD, congratulations to Ninja. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pass you back over to your host, Evexium, because there is maintenance creeping up on us.
Thank you, Kitfox+Disconcur. Yes, we are hoping to try and get in before that 10 p.m. downtime. But if we do, we will play round 4 tomorrow night at 8 p.m. AEST, just so we can make sure we can cover those games. So I'll flick it back, and we'll have a quick 3-minute break. Hopefully going to get all these other games finished up. Don't forget to put !GS HotS for the raffle.